Step 2, watch or attend a business presentation. How hard is that? Next slide, please. Here we go. When's the next best one? What presentation do I invite them to? The next one. First one in the morning's what, at 10? Yeah? Guess what? If it's 9:30 in the morning, when's the next one? 10 o'clock. Why do you think we do them multiple times during the day? Huh? Not choice, but it's to get them to the next available one as quickly as we can. Because you get them to the next one as quickly as we can, especially with InstaPay going on, you get started at 4 o'clock, you get your next guest on the very next one, and you get that cha-ching email in your inbox, then guess what happens? People get excited. See what I'm saying? And I don't mind sharing this with you. We had some previous, well, they're still here, some leaders that, Bob, we're doing too many presentations during the day. I said, silence infidels. That was pretty close, wasn't it? Wasn't that what I said? Something like that? I said, y'all are missing. So much of this business is psychology, correct? You want people to get on the next one, man. It's urgency. You want to know why? Here, I tell people, listen, I'm inviting a ton of guests. You want to be on the first level of my business, or you want to be on the 71st level? It's your choice. You want to wait? I'm okay if you wait. You can come to the presentation next Thursday. But I'm going to tell you about all the people that got in that could have been making money for you, though. What takeaway, right? Does that make sense? So we do presentations strategically many times throughout the day for that reason, to get people onto the next one, right? It's first come, first serve. Now, when you invite them, you know what I always tell people to? Make sure you show up on time. I have a bunch of guests coming on. I'm going to be on there myself. It kills me when I see people invite prospects, correct? Then they call them back 3 days later. What'd you think? Right? If you want to be really on top of your game, you call them 10 minutes before and say, I'm on. I don't see you on there yet. I hold people accountable, man. Don't waste my time. Get on there. Yeah, people call support. Was my guest on the presentation? They did. Men, what are you laughing for? They're in your business. No, okay. It's true, though. Real life stories, I'm telling you. That's called talk confusion is what that's called. Next one, please. Let me explain to you why you need to direct your people to presentations and or live ones, okay? You do not want to be the one to give the presentation when you are new or not having great success, and let me tell you why. Because you don't have the credibility yet. And frankly, you're probably just not that good at it. Does that make sense? Is there anything mysterious about that? You let people hear from people that are having success that are good at presenting. Plus, it leverages your time. So you want to invite. Boom, get them to the presentation. Does that make sense? Okay. Next. Here we go. How are we doing on time? Good? Okay. Here we go. Three-way call. People are allergic. Okay. Let me tell you something else which people don't know how to do right, which ties into the three-way call. It ties into the psychology of why three-way calls are so important. It's called edification. What edification simply means is this, is that you are saying something nice about somebody. Now, how hard is that? Easy, right? Edification. So what you're doing is right after the presentation. Let me explain something to you. If the presentation is at 10 o'clock, if it ends at about 10:30 when it's supposed to, except if men's doing it, it'll end at about 10:50. Listen, some of you other guys aren't much better. So, some of you other guys are laughing at men. Listen. Mim's my partner in crime, so I can. All right. So if the presentation ends at 10:45, when do you need to start doing three-way calls? 10:46. You're absolutely right. Right? You call them back with one of your very experienced uplines on the phone. Best one you can get. Then what do? All you do is introduce them. Hi, I'd like to introduce you to my upline, Rob Roeder. Edify him via his rank in the business. He's having great success. And just tell something very quick and nice about him. He's one of the top leaders in the company. He's helping me build my business. You'll be part of his team as well. Do you see how that goes? Really quick. And then what do? You be quiet. Then you let Rob tell a story. Is that hard? Okay. So during that process, who overcomes the objections when you get them? Rob. Who answers questions? Rob. What do? You're quiet, but if you're smart, you're writing down notes and you're absorbing knowledge like a sponge. Does that make sense? How hard is that? Not hard at all. We've gone through 3 of the steps already. So have I said anything in here that anybody can't do yet? Look around the room. Not a soul. So we'll get to questions later. So thus far, you see why the Diamond Rush Guide is a perfect tool, because it can be duplicated, right? Now some of you are, though, okay? Some of you would buy a McDonald's franchise and want to paint the golden arches pink. I want it to have style. I want it to reflect me. I want to change the French fry recipe. It needs more salt. No, it doesn't. Don't touch the Diamond Rush Guide. And it's a little awkward for me to say this, but we're talking to a couple people in the lobby before. Someone said, I have some suggestions about the Diamond Rush Guide. And I love people, okay? But I'm very frank. I said, no, thank you. Do you want to know why? Because the person that was making the suggestions, they don't have any success, any track record of success. So why would I be changing something that I know works? But most importantly, the reason why I know it works is because I have the success to back it up. Does that make sense to you? See what I'm saying? Don't take advice from broke people. And I'm not saying that this person was broke. I'm just saying in general. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. When you're doing the 3-way call and you're listening, again, it goes back to psychology. I always use something called form. Family. And you have a prospect tracking log, right? You should be writing this out in there. About family. Kids. They have kids. Boys, girls, how old? What do their kids do? Would you like to spend more time with your family? Show me a mom or a dad that doesn't want to spend more time with their kids. How hard is that to bring up to somebody? Right? See, if you're smart too, when you're doing three-way calls, you learn other leaders' stories. Even if Mark is not on the phone, if you're talking to somebody that wants to have more time with their kids, then what testimonial is good to bring up? Does that make sense? So you have to take a little bit of time to do a little bit of intel. Does that make sense? Occupation. Let me teach you something about people, right? When do most heart attacks happen? What day of the week? Mondays. Why is it? Because they're heading to a job that they don't like, at which they're being underpaid, working for people who don't value them, and they're at a place that they don't feel they have a career. Does that make sense? So you know that's a pretty good shoo-in. If somebody comes up, man, I love my job. I love my boss. I've never heard that except at Talkfusion. Hint, hint. We have a great team, actually. Great team. Occupation, right? Recreation. You want to watch somebody light up? Ask them about their hobbies. What would they like to be doing? I like to go to the beach more. I like to travel more. I mean, you name it, you get people. I promise you, most of the world wants more free time. Even people that have tons of money, they still need more free time. Does that make sense? That's why families break apart a lot, because families are too busy working 2 or 3 jobs. That's what happens. Money. We talked about it. Most people need to make extra money. You know, the irony, there's people that make a lot of money here, but the reason why they make a lot of money is because they have a lot of people in the organization that make a little bit of money. So you have to focus on getting to $100 a month, $200 a month, $300 a month, and then teaching other people to do that. You teach other people to do that, your income grows. Does that make sense? People all the time, Bob, I need to get to 10 trillion a week. How do I do it? I got bills. Well, you must have some bills. You're right. Golly. Let's focus on how to get your bronze first. Then teach other people how to go bronze. How about that? Everybody understand that? That's how you have to do it. If everybody in this room was bronze, everybody in your organization was bronze, we'd have to rent out the city of Tampa for the meetings. Does that make sense? Okay. We already talked about timing and urgency during the three-way call. It's important. Here's the reason why to get involved now, but your upline will help you take care of that. Next. Here's some of the responses that you'll get with people. Yep, people say, yep, yes now, I'm ready to get involved. Some will say, I'm still very interested. I call it yes, yes later, but I have a few questions. Some people say, yes, I absolutely love the product, but the opportunity is not right for me right now. That's totally fine. We have tons of customers. And some people try to say no, never. But you don't give up on those people. You put them in the friends to be list, right? Does that make sense? Let me teach you something about the product, too. Here's another cardinal sin that I see some of y'all do, okay? You oversell it. Give an example. I'm not going to say the name to protect the guilty. Bob, we need to be doing all these presentations for a business. Okay, let me ask you a question, okay? And I see them in the marketplace, right? People that charge businesses $10,000 to be a, quote, consultant, right? Let me give you $10,000 worth of advice right now if you're a business owner, for free. Say thank you to your customers. If all you did is use video email to make your customers feel appreciated, boy, what a marketing bonanza that is, huh? I mean, think about this, though. How many places that each of you spend money, how many times do they say thank you? Most of the time, they don't say thank you when you're in the store, but how many times do they say thank you after the sale is made? Very rarely. For me, this is what happens. You remember where you spent your money the other 11 months of the year when they send you the obligatory Christmas card in December. You're like, oh, geez, what, I bought a pair of jeans from them back in January? Does that make sense to you? So do you think it's worth, to a business, right? To a business, do you think it's worth $35 a month or $20 a month to use the product to say thank you to your customers? Do I have to give a seminar to teach a business that? I'll take their 10 grand if they want to give it to charity. Very easy. These products are so good to build relationships, and that's what most people miss. Life is about relationships. You get that? That's pretty profound stuff, actually. Use the product to say thank you. Now, here's something else that I see. People, you get your script ready. Hi. Wait. You get your web camera all positioned right. You got curlers in the hair. You got your makeup looking right. Right? Hi. Wait. Got to redo that one. My name is Bob Rayna, and I am an independent associate with Talkfusion. I purchased a pair of jeans from you, oh wait, when was that? 3 months ago, and I would like to sell you this product. Here is all of my contact information, as they're pointing to the wrong spot on the template. Where is it? Just do this. Just be safe. And there's my link, so just sign up. Right? You try to become professional presenters. Don't do it. Just don't, please. Help yourself. Does that make sense? Listen, y'all know me by now. I speak from the heart. These are real life horror stories of things that I see on a daily basis. Okay? Does that make sense? Why are some of you bowing your heads? You're like trying to hide because you know you're doing it. That's what guilty people do. They're like, yeah, what? Yeah, I mean, right. I've seen a few of you sending recruiting video emails in your bathrobes. And let me tell you how I see these two. Let me tell you how. I don't know why y'all do this, but some of you copy support on your emails, and yeah, so if you send it to support, I mean, we think you're sending us you have a need or we can help you. But I mean, some of you, I mean, people have monogrammed initials on their bathrobes. I mean, living large, no shirts on. People that should be wearing shirts with no shirts on. I mean, now, if you have a body like Randy Lim, you can get away with not wearing a shirt. But some of you, I got news for you. Don't do everything by yourself. Leverage your team. Make sure you lead by example. People will do what you do, right? Follow the leader. Here's a great expression. It's the BLT. People will join magic formula if they believe you, if they like you, and if they trust you. Let's be honest. We all have phony detectors built in, right? For those of us that have been around the block a little bit, we can smell nonsense a mile away, right? So can the rest of the world. So always be forthright with people. If people say no, thank them for their time. It's okay. Get good at getting liked. If people trust you, trust is a big thing, right? How are you going to take somebody to the promised land if they don't even like you? They don't believe in you. They don't trust you. The relationship starts bad from the start, right? Does that make sense? Now, here's something else too. Big part of this. Big, big, big part of this. Huge. Getting plugged in.